Yeah, this is Oliver. He loves my ears. Apparently. My name is Alton Joseph. I am 19 years old. Who am I? I would say I'm an artist. I like to write. I like to draw. Pretty much every form of art I like. I love my friends and my family. And yeah, I like going to school. Classes like not math, not science, not, well, history's okay. Yeah, I mean, I would say starting off, disabled definitely doesn't mean not able, just mean differently abled. So I do things that everyone else would do. I make art the same way. I just need accommodation. If I'm in a sort of film production, right, and most of the cast is, going up a flight of stairs in the dark or whatever, I'm like, yeah, well, I can go upstairs. I just need like light, or I'd prefer like a ramp or something like that. It's really not a lot of accommodations that need to be made. And then I got into a wheelchair sports, or yeah, I guess accessible sports. And I was like, I felt like my spirit needed like a driving something to latch onto. I've never been an athletic person. I really like the arts. So I don't know why, but I had like these big athletic dreams within wheelchair basketball. But every community has its cliques, and I was new, and I just didn't stick for me, and also wasn't good or talented. I would get I remember playing the games, I would get these horrible, painful blisters on my fingers from pushing, and all these people had calloused hands, and I'm like, that'll never ever be me. Yeah, it wasn't I didn't realize something was wrong. I didn't even get checked out until 2 months. I mean, not 2 months, 2 weeks later. But still, I kind of was like, oh, didn't realize that you should get checked out. Back to the eye doctor, they're like, okay, get an MRI. They weren't looking for anything. They were like, you know what? It could be a vision thing, I don't know. So they were like, go to your local hospital and just do that. And it was really, it was casual. We went to because at the time I was 17, so we went to the children's hospital, and they were like, do you want to watch a movie or anything? And I was jovial and making jokes, and I'm like, yeah, what movies and do you have to offer? And they're like, oh, Nemo and Guardians of the Galaxy or something. And I'm like, I was laughing, and then afterwards I remember saying to my dad, what if I looked at her and said Brokeback Mountain? I want to watch Brokeback Mountain. So I did that, and I remember afterward, now I know how MRIs work. They can see something's wrong. They're not doctors, but they definitely know what's going on. It was crazy because, I had no idea that after surgery, I couldn't eat. I really couldn't, I couldn't talk. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. And I did not know that would happen going into it. But again, thank God I didn't know that, because I probably would have been a lot more panicked than I was. I wasn't. They didn't know the repercussions, how severe it would be, but they definitely knew more than I did at multiple points. But they did not tell me to keep me cool and calm and collected, yeah. If you felt that heaviness, trying to be covered by happiness, but no one was happy. Everyone was a second away from just crying or, whatever at every point. And nurses, I think, knew that. So they were trying to not have that happen. Yeah, I mean, I've come to terms more, but then now, kind of embracing being a disabled artist instead of fighting so hard to just have it be artists, and leaning into that and recognizing that, again, disabled does not mean not able to, it just means differently able. So going and being able to meet people in that community and build a community around that, the amount of people that are in like wheelchairs or whatever and don't think that they can act, even though it's their dream. It's kind of, I made it my mission to be like, no, you definitely can, knowing and teaching them how to advocate to whoever, and being like, this is what I need to, succeed. So when I first started acting again, it was in rehab. My speech is better now, but it used to be like completely, you couldn't understand anything. Reading, I had all these scripts saved from, again, those 2 years of classes that I did. I had all these scripts saved. So I would do like read-throughs, kind of table reads almost, with my speech therapist, doing it and just reading through and practicing, like articulating, going up and down with like punctuation. They were like, they were children, not children, but young adult scripts. So they were like, Tommy stole my remote, very like exaggerated. So they ended up being really good for me. But that was my first real acting. Disabled people are not like as fragile as you think they are. I think that people are like, I don't want to ask what happened. A lot of people are maybe proud of what happened and the fact that they're still here. It's not this hindrance that people think that it is. So, respect goes a long way for sure. The most important thing is to never give up. Don't, let whatever you're going through stop you. Nothing is impossible, truly. Do whatever it takes to make it happen for yourself. Do it. Be unreasonable. Yeah. Thank you.